Florida is incredibly important. I mean, it's really the gateway to the White House, as everybody knows. I think my father's very loved here. We're going to win. We're going to win a couple months.
Throwdown in the battleground. Team Trump kicking off a nationwide bus tour from swing state Florida, while Joe Biden rolls out his record-setting ad buy across all the battleground states.
So who is in a better position to swing the swing states? Pollster Justin Wallin joins us now to weigh in. Justin, what's better, bus or buy?
That's a great question. Well, I mean, the polls have closed. So where Biden had some strength at the height of really the large protests were going on, in contrast to what we're seeing now, which is a lot of looting and these sorts of things, that advantage is starting to slide away. And I think Trump is wise to recognize that he needs a human touch, he needs a personal touch, he needs to get out there. The campaign has started. The presidential election is not far away. Biden has placed an ad buy. He did a brilliant job of communicating to the press that ad buy, but when you start digging into those numbers, what he's actually purchased are not meaningful ad buys. In fact, it's very funny. If you look at what the Russians did in the last election and the small amount of money that they spent and the meaningless impact it had, that's not dissimilar from what Biden's ad buy in Texas looks like. It's a lot of sound and fury signifying nothing. So I think that personal touch that the Trump campaign is rolling out will be very, very meaningful. Biden's ads could have some impact, but I think what's going to be more interesting is more and more Biden's going to have to start coming out and actually talking and being off script. That presents real opportunity for the campaign on the Trump side.
Yeah, in the battleground states of Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Florida, and Arizona, Biden is currently beating the president by around 4 points, according to Real Clear Politics. Aside from the bus tour and the personal touch that you just talked about, what does the president need to do to close that gap?
Well, first and foremost, in terms of polling, what that gap means is that is within or just about the margin of error. So back when we were in the Clinton race, we saw numbers like that, and a lot of talk was about Trump being far behind or being significantly behind. That's not what those numbers are telling us, especially in the states where numbers start to get a little bit more wobbly than on the statewide, the nationwide polls. So right now it's closer than we expect. It's too close to call at 4.1%. But to close the gap, really what needs to be done is Biden needs to present himself more as a centrist that he has a record of being. Right now he's starting to present himself in his personal words when he's on camera. He's talking about things that are traditionally leftist. This is out of sync with the American middle. It's out of sync with those independents who started to slip away a little bit from the president about a month to a month and a half ago. President Trump needs to keep very, very focused on how to rebuild the economy. And that includes some of those key policy issues like kids. What do you do with kids as we start to get back towards work or the attempts to get to work? But action is critical, and there's been some criticism about his executive action. I'll stay out of that. A policy is somebody else's, ballywick. But in terms of public opinion, taking action to help those in need is critical. And he took action yesterday. I think that sort of thing is going to be important moving forward.
Yeah, you're right. 4 points is a much smaller margin in terms of, swing state polling than I think a lot of people realize. And the Trump campaign did outraise Joe Biden's campaign by $25 million in July. So who knows if the tide is turning. There's still many days until November. Justin, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.